Have you ever asked yourself, what's it like to make a double album and 8 music videos by yourself? The answer? It hurts. It's lonely. It sucks. Nah, it's fun as f***, and today I'll show you how I've been doing it. Hey folks, Anthony Rizzo here, aka Bad Hunter. 3 years ago, I made what I thought was going to be a double album, but I didn't have a plan for releasing it, but I knew I needed one. I'm a complete unknown, but not the cool kind where you get movies made about you, the uncool kind where you have to make movies about yourself on YouTube. By profession, I am a filmmaker and videographer, and in the last few years, I've been creating video campaigns for brands. So I thought, I don't know much about the music business yet, but I do know a lot about video. The challenge, making videos for myself. Music has always been my private little hobby. I never really took it seriously, and I never did anything with it. The last 8 or so years have gone like this. Record an album, immediately go into post-production on a feature-length documentary, have amazing professional and artistic experiences, but then bury that music within various backup hard drives. Just sitting out collecting dust, packed away in a storage unit, you know what I'm talking about. Once I finish the film, the music I was working on gets pushed back and then eventually lost to history. But this time I wasn't going to let the music get away from me. If the pandemic era taught me anything, or retaught me, is that life is short. And you know what? Not one moment in the future is guaranteed. It doesn't pay to wait. It doesn't pay to not say what needs to be said, and that's what the album was about too. So what was the plan? So I take the double album named Whatever's Not Said, break it up into 4 EPs, and for each EP, direct 2 music videos for a total of 8 music videos. 2 videos to coincide with each EP release. So here we go. I know myself enough to know that big projects will not get done without a plan. Like a full project plan, from concept to pre-visualization to a literal calendar stretching all the way to project completion over the course of a year. So I made a project plan deck, almost like a pitch deck, but chunkier. First, I need to see that it's somewhat doable, and then I might do it. I also know that I can easily lose track of time, so this deck contained constraints, rules, commandments, all of the above. The first video in my series, Full Psycho, is meant to introduce the 2 characters and the theme of duality. The concept of the nemesis, the light side being the dark side of the same identity, and having a moral obligation to eliminate the dark side has been overplayed, especially in cinema. So I wanted to take a different approach. It begins in black and white, displaying stark differences in darkness, light, and color. The first 2 verses and chorus are quieter, so I thought we could begin with traditional extremes. When the drum kicks in, I bring in color, but we're still at extremes, white, blue, and red. And here I have a set of props. Communication devices, you could say, that one guy is using to sing into whilst the other guy is using them to spy on him. So it's a weird relationship. They are strangers occupying different worlds, but there's still a tension between them. The props represent that tension and they connect their worlds. I didn't want it to be too serious, so I chose props that look like toys. They're almost clown-like. The song itself is about 2 people in a relationship who both have anxiety. And the idea is that at any given time, one person might be in the throes of their anxiety, while the other person can be the one to calm them, sort of like a healer, just sort of by their presence or through intimacy. So in this song, we have 2 people kind of going back and forth. I think that's what you want, that complementary relationship. It doesn't always work out that way, but when it does, it's beautiful. I wanted to convey that anxiety, but then also follow that with warmth. But first, the verses are full of paranoia and angst. to show myself in two different versions. There's Tony 1 and there's Tony 2. Each version is on a different side of a door. So throughout the video, one is on the inside of a room and the other one's on the outside. The one on the inside of the room is in a brightly lit area. He's wearing more colors, and then the one on the outside of the room is in a more dark environment, noirish lighting, and he's wearing all black. He's listening in, he's sort of surveying Tony 1. The choruses are darker, but I wanted the camera to be in constant movement. And now we're back to extremes, with a very unnatural yet lush red versus blue. I felt it was pleasing to the eye in terms of color, despite being shrouded in darkness. A new duality that draws you in instead of repelling you. I also had these door scenes. This last part of the song, they start to become aware of each other, and one on the other side of the door, they start dancing against this door. Now that sounds kind of hot, kind of sexy. Originally I wanted to do more with it. I actually shot quite a bit of movement work against the door, showing both characters interacting with it, but it kind of sucked. Also, that took screen time away from the darker scenes that I wanted to emphasize. But I used some of it. And eventually, the door had to open. The lyrics are inviting the listener to come closer, so naturally I wanted to bring the camera closer. Too close, right up in my face. Come on closer. Well, I wanted that uncomfortable intimacy because something that anxiety breeds in you is general distrust, so intimacy can be scary. I wanted to combine warmth with this unsettling feeling. I'm not trying to calm you, listener, viewer, I just want to recreate this feeling for you, to experience for yourself. It's more about expression than delivering a message. I'm basically just simulating my crazy little world for strangers. With film and music, those simulations of perception have always been far more powerful to me than someone telling me what I should think and feel. Tell me a story. Don't give me a lesson. Thank you. So a couple weeks later, I started to record the second music video for Famine. And if you didn't think the songs could get more anxious, you were wrong. It's lustful. In a lot of ways, it's about wanting to break out of my body. Whether that means transcending my physical form or actually just dying. Doesn't matter. It's about both of those things. Being so deprived of something so essential that all you see and know is that deprivation. You can put a gun in my head. Oh. No! Now that I had finished one video, I was able to establish a process, and I was able to feel freer to express the emotions in the song through the performance in the video, and worry less about the technical aspects, although that did get a bump as well. I wanted to convey that feeling of the body being a serious limitation and the feeling of wanting to break out of it, but I didn't want to just do that through the performance, it had to happen through the camera as well. Well, it's simpler than it seems, but essentially, I shoot at a normal frame rate, which is 24 frames per second, but I play the song at 50% speed, so I sing it slowly. I also use the slowest shutter speed that I could use while preserving the frame rate, which is 1/24th of a second for 24 frames per second, with the shutter being open for the entirety of each frame, resulting in quite a bit of motion blur. Still with me? Then I take the footage into Premiere and speed it up to 200%. My lip movements sync up with the song, but my body movements are tense, rickety, unnatural. On top of that, I reduce the frame rate of this footage to 12 frames per second, exactly half of the frame rate in the rest of the footage, resulting in a stop-motion-like effect. I thought it was pretty fun. I used a similar approach to the bridge scenes, but did not change the frame rate. I wanted these scenes to have more fluidity and be a little more startling in that sense, and the color change should do that in tandem. Okay, so I am on shoot number 3 for the music video for the song Famine. I just have mainly the bridge that I want to shoot, and the bridge is going to be a little like very surreal. It's going to incorporate a green screen, which I have behind this black backdrop, but I have this up because the first portion of today's shoot is going to involve a more physical movement. So I want to get that out of the way first because that is more physically demanding. And for both stages, it needs to be in darkness like that. The first one, almost complete darkness, so that's like the challenge for me. Gordon Willis was the cinematographer on The Godfather, and he was known as the Prince of Darkness. So I'm trying to kind of replicate that approach. And then there was one more technical challenge to attempt. On top of the feeling of wanting to break out of my body, I also wanted a moment where I had the feeling like I was viewing myself outside of my body. A good opportunity to bring in my other character. It's going to be a simpler movement, more like walking. So I want to kind of stage like a side-scrolling movement. It's going to be me walking in this barren landscape. Green screen can be complicated, especially if you're shooting in a small room. I had to figure out a way to get enough distance between myself and the green screen so that the light hitting the screen didn't shine onto me, and enough distance between myself and the camera so I could fit more of myself in frame. Plus be able to isolate the lighting on me from the lighting on the green screen. Hours of sweaty work distilled into only a few seconds of screen time. That's filmmaking, baby. Now, of course, my very first attempt to release my music to the world couldn't go smoothly. The day that I was working on the final master for the first EP, my hard drive failed. So that day you didn't think would ever come, the day when your SSD fails and craps out on you, that day came to me. And how long ago did I do a backup? Don't ask. It was 6 months. It wasn't just my music project folders, it was the music video projects too. I was just too hasty and motivated to complete the work that I wasn't playing it safe, and that day you dread the most, the day that your SSD fails, at the worst possible moment, came to me. Thankfully, I was able to recover most of the data. Some of the takes I had to redo, but most of it I didn't have to, so I'm thankful for that, but it did cause a delay in my overall release plan. It delayed me for about a week. But what are you gonna do? Shit happens. We have to deal with it. And I did. I completed the first stage in a year-long process. And along with the hard work of artist Saul Rojas, aka Blue Cube Studio, I have a beautiful album cover ready for your eyes. Now you ask, am I on my way to achieving what I set out to achieve? And I would say, I just f***ing got started. Give me a break here. Well, what was my ultimate goal in the first place? It was to build an audience, to get more eyes and ears on my work, to be able to share my pride and joy with the world. As I record this, I'm not even close, but all I need is for you to stick with me on this journey. So right now what you should do is go back and watch the first 2 music videos. I've got Full Psycho and I have Famine. They're live. You can go watch them now. I'm proud of them. They're weird. You just have to see for yourself. And the most important thing is that you go listen to the new EP called What I Meant to Say Was. Go back to Spotify, go back to Apple Music, and look up Bad Hunter. It's out, it's live. Go listen, please. Link in description. I love you all. Peace.